Well, it's me. I deleted my notes too quickly because I did not give a shit about last week's card, as you can probably tell by me doing the video an entire week early and then just not even realizing it. So it's going to be another Gary versus Protest, where it's going to take 17,000 years for me to know how good I did and what my current record is. So I don't know what my record is on the year because I'm being irresponsible. In other news, this next pay-per-view is debatably one of the weakest pay-per-views I've seen since Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev, which turned to Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. That card sucked, and this card sucks. I don't know how we're expected to pay $80 for this and then get Whitaker versus RDR for free next week. That card is significantly better. I'd be way more okay with paying for that card. But it's okay. I'm going to try to have some sort of a watch party for Holloway versus Porier. And yeah, so hopefully at least the night itself is fun. But I also forgot to take notes for this card for the most part because who cares? This card sucks. Which you would almost think that it's like there's no way I would forget to do notes because I need them. But whatever, I'm just gonna raw dog this because I'm a big brain MMA boy, and for the most part I can big brain it, and if I don't know who these guys are, then neither do you, and if you do, then you're lying. So first fight, UFC 318 and Holloway versus Porier 3 coming out of New Orleans. We're getting closer and closer to 319. You're gonna maybe I do some nonsense phone footage from 319 and do one of those easy view grab. Oh, I went to UFC 319 and this is my experience. One of those. I'll think about that. That'd be fun. But starting this first fight, Carli Judice versus Nicolle Caliari. Probably gonna pick Carli. So she's younger. She has, I believe, she has the reach advantage. I want you guys, it's funny because I edit the ESPN over my videos, so, you guys see almost what I see. But I don't look at that normally when I'm recording my videos. So right now it's going to, since I am going to be looking at that while I'm recording, it's going to be goofy. But yeah, so she has the 6-inch reach advantage. Less experience. I like experience, but she's 4 inches taller, 6 inches in reach, significantly more active in the striking. Using ESPN stats to try to pick fights is the best base, by the way. ESPN is the most reliable, and they care the most about MMA, or the most about MMA of all other websites. I promise. You definitely shouldn't use anything else. I'm lying. ESPN sucks, and I hope UFC signs with anybody else. But Carli only has they both only have finishes. Nicolle has 5 KOs, 3 submissions. Carli has 4 KOs. Carli lost on the Contender Series and her UFC debut, where Nicolle won on the Contender Series but lost her debut. That's just something that I said I didn't do notes. I did notes for the first 1.5 fights. So I did notes for this one, and then I'm biased for the next one. But I don't know. I'll go with Carli. Minus 350 favorite, taller, more active striking. Nicolle has more experience though, so I do kind of want to pick Nicolle, but in the MMA guru line of thinking, Carli looks more masculine. So if you pick based on that, then Carli's the pick. Moving on though, Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson Mcvey. Bruno Ferreira is a goat. He's so good. Very, I don't want to say underrated, but kind of low key underrated. People really act like he's not that good. He lost to Abis Magomedov, but was actually doing really, really, really good in that fight before he got subbed in the 3rd round. And then he has lost to Ruziboyev also, which Ruziboyev is on quite the run right now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yes, aside from his loss to Buckley, he is on an insane run. So Jesus, this guy has a lot of fights. Yeah, I'm not talking about Ruziboyev right now, though. Yeah, Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira is really good. This Jackson Mcvey guy is he's making his debut in the UFC. He only has 6 fights, 3 knockouts, 3 subs. But it's like 2 of those fights are in Shamrock FC, you know, and then the rest are in LFA. Who is this guy? He didn't even headline. He never even headlined in LFA. He was never a champion or anything like that. They just called him up. I think Bruno Ferreira was supposed to fight someone else or something like that. Minus 650, whatever. Sometimes we got to slaughter people. He is 26 though, and he does have 77 inches of reach compared to Bruno's 72. So he is the taller boy by quite a bit. He's actually 6 inches taller. Jesus, I'm so stupid. 6 inches taller, but yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Bruno Ferreira just because I like Bruno Ferreira, and this guy's a nobody. Moving on to Ryan Spann versus, how the fuck do I pronounce, Lukasz Brzeski or whatever. Wow. Ryan Spann's bad. We all know that, right? Ryan Spann fluked a decision loss against Anthony Smith and got finished by Anthony Smith. This fight's at heavyweight. I believe Ryan Spann is unwinned at heavyweight. Yeah, he moved up to heavyweight, fought Waldo Cortez Acosta not that long ago, and he got fucking raped. And Waldo Cortez Acosta is bad. This guy, though, wow. Oh my god, you are also bad, Lukasz Brzeski. You lost to Carl Williams, Martin Boudet, Waldo Cortez Acosta, Mick Parkin, and Kennedy and Chekowu. I guess I'm picking Ryan's fucking Spann. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with a Ryan Spann pick at all. He's 22-11, but this guy's 9-6-1. What are you doing? This is tough. This is a tough one for me. I guess I'll go Ryan Spann, man. Fuck it. I really don't want to, but I guess Ryan Spann. I probably shouldn't type while I'm fucking recording this video because y'all will be able to hear that. Anyway, yeah, whatever. I'll pick. I really don't want to. Ryan Spann fucking blows, man. Fuck it. Do I? I don't know. Do I pick Ryan Spann or Lukasz? This is the thing I'm supposed to do before the video. I think I might actually pick this Lukasz guy because he beat Walter Walker. And Walter Walker is he's on kind of a run, but he also hasn't beat anybody meaningful. So it's like, am I really gonna? No, fuck it. I'll you like how I just said I wasn't gonna type 30 seconds ago. I'll ride with Ryan Spann. I really don't want to, but I'll ride with Ryan Spann. Moving on to Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachino. This is another one of those. Neither person is really that good. Marcin Prachino beat Khalil Roundtree, which people would act like means something now. Yeah, I mean, he lost to Rakic, he lost to Ankalaev, he lost to Sam fucking Alvey. How do you lose to Sam Alvey? Yeah, that's all I need to see. Marcin sucks. Jimmy Crute. Picking Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute, he's only 29. Yeah, he's only 29. On a horrible run right now. Lost to Anthony Smith, lost to Jamal Hill, had a draw with Alonso Menafield, lost to Alonso Menafield, had a draw with Rodolfo Bellato. Jimmy Crute fucking sucks. But he subbed Paul Craig, and he KO'd Sam Alvey. So, at least he didn't lose to Sam fucking Alvey. Moving on. Adam Fugitt versus Islam Dulatov. Islam is minus 700, and his name is Islam. So Adam Fugitt's all right, but he's not really that good. Lost to Mike Mallet, lost to Michael Morales, lost to Austin Vanderford. Yeah, I mean, Adam Fugitt kind of just exists. Islam is 11-1, 6'3". He's only 26 years old, about similar size as he's taller than Adam Fugitt, but actually has a reach disadvantage, which is funny. It just means you're built goofy. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna pick Islam there because why pick against minus 700? It's always my philosophy. Moving on to minus 600 versus plus 400. Ateba Gautier. I remember this guy from his fight with Medina versus what is this guy's name? Robert Valentin. Robert Valentin has not won in the UFC. So what does that tell you? In fact, he lost to Ryan Loder in the finale of the Ultimate Fighter season he was on. So he sucks. I'm gonna go with Gautier, minus 600, 7-1. Yeah, probably blitzes him, gets another KO because that's what this guy's been doing. Moving on to Fransisco Prado versus Jesus Criminy. How do I pronounce your name? Nicolle Veretennikov. Veretennikov over here lost to Austin Vanderford, who is not that good. Lost to Michael Morales. Michael Morales is indeed pretty good. This other guy, Fransisco Prado, has lost to Jake Matthews and Daniel Zellhuber and Jamie Malarkey. Wow. You're not that good. Jesus criminy. I am actually... Wow, you're 23 years old. Interesting. 9 KOs, though, on this guy. 9 KOs from him. 6-6, all finishes. That's actually kind of spicy, I'm not gonna lie. I wish you had, I'll pick Fransisco Prado. I was gonna pick Veretennikov because he has a little bit more experience. He's older, but the thing is, he actually he has 3 more losses than Prado, and Prado is 12 years his younger. So he is the smaller guy. Fransisco is. But it feels like the UFC is really trying to get a wave of young fighters because a lot of these people that were young 10 years ago are retiring right now. I know that was really funny to say, but like Dustin Porier is old now, Max Holloway is old now, etc., etc. So they're trying to get all these like Michael Moraleses, Fransisco Prados, Joshua Vans. They're trying to push all these people who, they're my age, unfortunately. That's what fucking sucks about it. It makes me feel bad because this guy's the same fucking age as me. In fact, I'm probably older than this guy if he's 23. When is his birthday? Because my birthday is in fucking January. Yeah, 6/16/02. I'm 1/28/02, so I'm literally fucking older than this guy, and he's in the UFC. Whatever, I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep about that later. Moving on. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. So, here's the thing. These guys both suck. Marvin Vettori is only 31. Oh my god. Vettori is only 31. Wow. Okay. Wow. Well. Wow. Well, wow. Brendan Allen's 29 and Marvin Vettori's only 31. Jesus Christ. Anthony Hernandez, Eric Andrews, Trevin Giles, Sean Strickland, Imavov, Anthony Hernandez. Yeah, I'm picking Vettori. This is slight bias because I'm the descendant of Italy persons, but also neither of these people are that good. That's the thing. Marvin Vettori has just like ogre DNA or whatever, you know? Everybody knows the lore with Marvin Vettori. He is able to take never-ending punishment, all the shots in the world. Essentially, what I'm saying is Brendan Allen will not be able to finish. I mean, he might be able to sub him, I guess. It's not like Marvin Vettori's ground game is like super the best, but I think he probably has good enough wrestling to be able to maintain dominant positions over Brendan Allen if Brendan Allen tries to take it to the ground, which I think he probably will. And then I think Marvin Vettori has mid enough striking, but definitely enough durability to where it seems like he will have better striking than Brendan Allen, because Brendan Allen will come in and then try to like strike with him, and then Marvin Vettori won't necessarily counter, but just also attack, because countering almost implies that you didn't get hit. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Marvin Vettori for this one. I don't know. I just out of the two not that good people, I think Marvin Vettori is the better one. Moving on, Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. Kyler Phillips is Sean O'Malley's butt buddy, right? But he lost to Rob Font. Ooh. Forgot about that. Well, Vinicius Oliveira it is. Vinicius Oliveira is a GOAT. He just beat Said Nurmagomedov, beat Ricky Simone. He's beat some people. He's definitely very, very active. 22-3 as a fucking 29-year-old. Well, Kyler Phillips is 12-3 as a 30-year-old. So Vinicius Oliveira has the experience. He's beaten tougher competition. Kyler Phillips already wilted when the lights turned on. So there's almost no reason to discuss this. Kyler Phillips, I wish you were better so that I could call Tim Welsh a good coach. But Sean O'Malley is just a really good athlete, and Tim Welsh got lucky finding a good best friend. Moving on, Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber is minus 700, so I almost don't need to do anything about this. But even if that wasn't the case, Michael Johnson is 39. Michael Johnson is a human coin flip. The only spooky about this is with all of this, like, oh yeah, of course Michael Johnson loses this fight. Does anybody else sniff a Michael Johnson knockout? Like, he is on a 2-fight winning streak right now. So he is the last person to knock out Dustin Poirier, right? So beat Edson Barboza when that meant something. But Michael Johnson beat a lot of pretty good people. He was the in-between. So Justin Gaethje beat Tony Ferguson. Before that, Michael Johnson was the last person to beat Tony Ferguson. So he beat Nam Pham. I know probably fucking a whole nobody watching this video knows who Nam Pham is. But then you lose to Jamie Mullarkey, you lose to Diego Ferreira, you lose to fucking Josh Emmett, Stevie Ray, Thiago Moises, and Clay Guida all in a row. So it's pretty safe to say that Michael Johnson is washed and that Daniel Zellhuber is pretty on the top of his game, or at least approaching that as a young 26-year-old. So I'm going to pick Daniel Zellhuber, and hopefully Michael Johnson doesn't have one of his prime coin flip performances, just starch fucking Zellhuber right on the canvas. Moving on, Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. I think it's pretty clear we picked Dan Ige here, right? Dan Ige is really good, really underrated, really, really underrated as far as just like fighters go. And Pitbull sucks. Like, Pitbull, did he impress you against Yair? Genuine question. You can answer that in any form that you have to get a hold of me. Did he impress you against Yair? Did he impress you? Did you ever watch Bellator? It's cool that he avenged his brother and beat Michael Chandler, but that's like low-key, honestly, the height of his... Well, that and then AJ McKee beating him, and then him beating AJ McKee and AJ McKee crying about it. That's like the height of his career. But yeah, he's 38. He too many miles on the tank. A lot of these Bellator guys... Perma ruined their career by just staying with Bellator forever because they wanted to be like these homegrown company men. They're like, no, I'm gonna, Bellator did this for me, so I'm gonna do this for Bellator by staying with them. But now that they're in the UFC and Bellator is defunct, they will never be as good as they could have been. Like Michael Venom Page could have been a contender in the UFC for a really long time. Pitbull could have been a contender for a really long time. It's funny how there's so many fighters that jumped, like they abandoned the UFC purely for financial reason essentially, and then they were champs for a really, really, really long time. And then there's people who try to act like that's not, like that the money isn't what matters or whatever. But then, like, I don't know what I'm getting at, but like people like Gegard Mousasi, Rory McDonald, these people leave the UFC and they're like, I'm gonna go join Bellator, blah 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 blah. And then they become champions because they're good, because it's almost like the UFC is the best fighting promotion on the planet and it has the best fighters. And then these people who are like Patricio Pitbull was champion for a really long time. Michael Chandler was champion for a really long time. Michael Venom Page was very, 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 I think he got robbed, very close to being a champion, undefeated in Bellator. What are other examples? Patchy Mix, you know? And then they come over to the UFC and they get dog walked. So what does that mean? But anyway, I'm going to pick enough yapping, ranting. I need to actually journalist max and make my own videos on topics that I feel like are necessary to do so, but I never do. I'll probably try to resume that questions for fighters video next pay-per-view for 319 because I'm going, so it'll be like a special occasion thing. I want to make a thing statement about the promotion difference between boxing and MMA because that's really been pissing me off recently. But moving on, enough ranting and raving. Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. These odds have changed a lot in the recent people. He wasn't a favorite, but people were believing in D-Rod a lot more the other day. Kevin Holland's going to win this fight. I mean, unless he just doesn't show up. The thing is, I am of the school of thought that Kevin Holland does try all the time. He just sometimes gets beat. Like Derek Brunson, 2021, beat him. Marvin Vettori, 2021, beat him. Khamzat Chimaev, beat him. Stephen Thompson, beat him. You can say that he should have mixed in the takedowns better against Stephen Thompson, but I don't think you realize that Stephen Thompson had the best takedown defense in welterweight for a majority of his career. Stephen Thompson's one of the hardest people to take down. That's why Gilbert Burns and Belal Muhammad were so impressive in their ability to just control him the whole time. Moving on though, Jack Della Maddalena, current champion. Whoa, he beat him. Michael Venom Page beat him. Michael Venom Page is really good. Roman Dolidze, we're not going to talk about that one. RDR. Well, those two we are going to talk about. Stop going up to fucking middleweight. Gunnar Nelson, Vicente Luque. Kevin Holland made him look easy. So Daniel Rodriguez is worse than both of those people in my opinion. I think Kevin Holland, whatever way he wants it. If he wants to outstrike Daniel Rodriguez, he outstrikes Daniel Rodriguez. If he wants to sub Daniel Rodriguez, he subs Daniel Rodriguez. It's pretty much that simple. Moving on, Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. So this is a hot take. I think I'm gonna pick Paulo Costa. I know. What has Paulo Costa ever done ever of significance? I know. Listen, hear me out. The year is 2020. Okay? There's this undefeated fighter. He's 13-0. He's getting ready to fight another undefeated fighter who I don't remember his record right now, but that doesn't matter, for the middleweight UFC championship. Motherfuckers were genuinely scared for Adesanya's life, bro. Paulo Costa was a killer, the eraser, you know what I mean? Which, unfortunately, that actually, he's called the eraser because he's flexible like rubber. Well, his brother was flexible like rubber, so he was called the eraser. And then people called Paulo Costa Little Eraser. And then his brother never made it to the UFC, but Paulo Costa did, so they dropped the little part and they just call him the eraser. Just for, context, it's not because he erases people. I thought it was because he erased people, though, back in the day. Anyway, loses to Adesanya, loses to Marvin Vettori. That Marvin Vettori fight, that's one of those, like, oh my god, Marvin Vettori's chin is absolutely inhuman, bro. The amount of, head kicks he ate in that fight was fucking insane. But that was also fought at 205 because Costa's retarded and doesn't take his career seriously. Fights Luke Rockhold, wins all the fans back by fighting Luke Rockhold, because he has that banger of a fight, even though Luke Rockhold's an old man. Loses to Robert Whittaker by decision. Loses to Sean Strickland, split decision, very boring Sean Strickland-esque fight. Here's my point in this. Out of his 4 losses, because he's only lost 4 times, 3 of those people are champions or former champions. I guess none of them are champion right now, but 3 of those people were former champions. The only person that's not is Marvin Vettori. You get what I'm saying? So his worst win is Marvin Vettori, which is a pretty bad win. But you know what I mean? Paulo Costa, like, people forget, man. That's what I'm getting at. Is people act like Paulo Costa is shit, but he definitely really isn't. Let's compare his 3 losses or 4 losses to Roman Kopylov's 3 losses. Anthony Hernandez, Albert Duraev, and Carl Robertson. Who the fuck is Carl Robertson? Like, genuinely, I don't. Who? Granted, okay, he has 12 KO wins out of his 14 wins. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I just think Paulo Costa fights higher competition than Roman Kopylov. I think People forget. I actually just said that unironically. People do forget, though. People, like, they say it all the time, but they don't, like, realize what it means. There's levels to this sport. You know what I mean? Like, you have to prove that you're good enough to hang with these people before, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Roman Kopylov, for as decent as he is, he hasn't done anything for me to show me that he's like an elite level fighter yet. You know what I mean? Costa is an elite fighter 100%. For as much as memers want to get on his dick and act like he was never that good, Costa is for sure very, very, very elite. He just probably got hella derailed mentally after his lost title shot and impregnation by Adesanya. Moving on, though, to the main event of the evening. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. Why are we doing this fight? I really want to get into production and promotion, and I've got my internship starting up and whatnot, so I'm trying to stop with the negative talk or whatever. I'm sure that's not noticeable throughout this video, but I am trying. Why is this fight happening? Dustin has already beat Max twice. Why is that his retirement fight? Max Holloway, seemingly, maybe, I don't think so. People are saying he's in the prime of his career. I don't buy it. I don't see what a third win over Max Holloway does for Dustin Poirier. I don't see what a win over Dustin Poirier does for Max Holloway. This is quite possibly the most irrelevant main event I've ever seen in my life, at least for a pay-per-view. Whatever. I don't know. Here's where I'm at. I'm biased. Well, I'm not biased. I hate this little munchkin called Ilia Topuria, okay? So this is what I want. This is not what I think is going to happen, but this is what I want to happen. So this is what I'm going to predict. Remember a couple weeks ago when I said I need to stop doing this thing right here where I predict what I want, not what I think? Fuck you. We're doing this, okay? I want Dustin Poirier to flatline, stiff knockout Max Holloway, scarier than Tony Ferguson, like the scariest knockout we've ever seen, dead on the floor, never fights again, retires Max Holloway because it was a horrible knockout. So then I can get on my YouTube channel next week and say, haha, Topuria sucks. Topuria knocked out a washed Max Holloway. He knocked out a broken, injured, unhealthy Volkanovski, and he knocked out a chinny Charles Oliveira. That's what I want. I want Poirier to ride off into the sunset successfully, simply because actually I like Holloway more than I like Poirier. That's the crazy thing. I want Poirier to win because I like Max Holloway. This is called insanity, ladies and gentlemen. You're literally watching an MMA fan lose their brain out of hatred for Ilia Topuria. The mental gymnastics that I'm doing and like the conspiracy, whatever. Anyway, that's all pretty much that I had to say. I don't want to actually go on a huge rant and complain about the quality of this card. This video is already like a half hour long, which is low-key kind of insane. But yeah, I don't know.